Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a lens review of the Canon 16 to 35mm f4 image stabilised lens. And I'm going to start right now. So in this video guys, I'm going to be doing a lens review of the Canon 16 to 35mm f4 image stabilised lens. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this review down into 5 separate parts to really work out if this very lens is worth a spot in your camera bag. But first, let's talk a little bit about the accessories and what to expect if you do purchase this lens and what's inside the box. So without further ado guys, let's get started. So just before I start talking about the build quality of this lens, I just wanted to talk about the lens accessories you get inside the box. So with this lens, you get a front and rear lens cap, a lens hood and a lens pouch. The pouch is made out of this soft suede material with a faux leather base. This lens pouch is great for protecting your lens, although it isn't padded. So if you are after a padded lens pouch, then you're going to have to buy one third party. The lens hood is made out of a premium plastic material with a felt lining. This lining is to help reduce the amount of lens flaring and increasing the contrast. Now, because of the wide angle nature of this lens hood is quite small and doesn't offer much protection against lens flaring or damaging. But again, this lens hood is better than nothing. So overall, I was impressed with the build quality of all of the accessories, apart from the lens pouch, which I wish Canon took a leaf out of Sigma's book and created this padded lens bags that you get with Sigma lenses. But overall, still great quality. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the build quality of this lens. So this lens is made out of a premium plastic and metal construction with 2 rubberized rings. The first ring is the zoom ring, and this again zooms from 16mm, which is an ultra wide angle, to 35mm, which is standard wide angle. This ring is incredibly smooth to operate and has a good amount of weight to it. The second ring is the focus ring, and again this is incredibly smooth and well damped. This lens also includes a focus window, which does make it a lot easier and more precise when you are manually focusing. This lens also has 2 lens buttons. These buttons are well made and they're easy to change even with gloves on. One turns off the autofocus and the other button turns off the image stabilization. This lens also has a weather sealing gasket on the rear, meaning this lens is water resistant when you do place a UV or circular polarizer filter on the front of it. This is great if you're planning on wanting to take this lens to either a wet or dusty environment. So overall, I was incredibly impressed with the build quality, although I would have loved to have this lens made out of metal instead of this premium plastic, more like a lot of the Sigma art lenses that are out there. But I guess the premium plastic does reduce the weight down by quite a considerable amount. So for that reason, I'm going to be giving this lens an 8 out of 10 for build quality. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the image quality of this lens. So this is Canon's flagship ultra wide angle zoom lens, zooming from an ultra wide angle of 16mm to a standard wide angle of 35mm. This lens also offers a consistent aperture of f4, which is actually quite narrow compared to other L lenses. But if you pair it up with the image stabilization, this makes this lens one of a kind and part of the Canon's Holy Trinity lineup, making this lens perfect for all types of photographers. So I took this lens out to one of my very first car meets and I was incredibly impressed with the image stabilization and how it coped with moving subjects. So I was sitting in the back of a car taking photos of another car at quite low shutter speeds, and the image stabilization coped incredibly well, especially if you compare it to the Sigma equivalent lens. The photos were incredibly sharp throughout the entire focal range and I was incredibly happy with the results. So let's have a look at a few of the test shots. So here is a photo taken at 16mm wide open. If we go ahead and zoom in, you can really see how sharp this lens truly is, especially in the corners. But for perfect sharpness, go ahead and step this lens down to f8. So how does this lens handle chromatic aberration and lens flaring? So if we go ahead and zoom in, you can see this lens doesn't necessarily suffer from much colour fringing or chromatic aberration, even if we go ahead and zoom to an area with high contrast. Actually, I was really impressed with how this lens performed in this area. The only downside to this lens is the amount of distortion and vignetting. At 16mm, you can really see how much barrel distortion this lens suffers from, and at f4, you can see it also suffers from quite high vignetting as well. To remove the vignetting, it's simple. All you need to do is simply step this lens down to f8. But to fully remove the distortion, you're going to have to zoom in a little bit to a roughly 24mm. But at 35mm, this distortion flips from barrel distortion to pincushion distortion, but only ever so slightly. Another downside to this lens is it does suffer from a little bit of lens flaring. Again, because of the ultra wide angle nature of this lens, it is very difficult to shoot, especially without any bright lights or reflections in the way. But again, if you do place the lens hood on it, it can reduce the amount of lens flaring and increase the contrast, but only by a small amount. So overall, I was really impressed with the sharpness of this lens, even at slow shutter speeds, especially with the amazing image stabilization. And at 16mm, this lens is truly amazing for landscape photographers. And the only downside I really can see is the high barrel distortion and vignetting, coupled with the high amount of flaring. But again, all of those problems can be mitigated with some creative thinking and creative shots. So for that reason, I'm going to be giving this lens a 9 out of 10 for image quality. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the size and weight of this lens. So Canon have actually designed two 16 to 35mm lenses. They've designed a 2.8 and an f4 with image stabilization. The 2.8 equivalent comes in at 790 grams or 1.74 pounds. Where the f4 version, the one that we have here, comes in at just 615 grams or 1.35 pounds in the US, almost 200 grams or 0.44 pounds less than the 2.8. This lens is also a lot smaller and compact versus the 2.8, only having a 77mm filter thread versus the larger 82mm filter thread that the 2.8 lens has, making this lens a lot more desirable for taking on long walks or hikes. So overall, I think this lens is a perfect size for most people, especially if you are after an L lens with an ultra wide angle. So for that reason, I'm going to be giving this lens an 8 out of 10 for size and weight. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the focus motor and image stabilization that this lens has. So this lens is part of Canon's flagship lineup of lenses. Now because of this, it has been placed with the ultrasonic motor, which is one of the fastest motors in all lenses. It is incredibly quick and precise, even in low light situations. And because of how they've designed this particular motor, it's also incredibly quiet. This lens also has image stabilization. The image stabilization is equivalent to up to 4 stops of light, which is brilliant, especially in low light where you don't want to necessarily use a tripod. Even at wide angles, sometimes you might get a little bit of motion blur, but again, when using the image stabilization, it can make your photos and especially videos incredibly sharp. So if you are after a great photography and video lens that offers wide angles, then this lens might be perfect for you. The only downside is the sound of the image stabilization. When you're using the internal microphone of the camera and when the image stabilization is turned on, you might notice an ever so slight clicking and whirring sound that might be a little bit off-putting. You can always get around this problem by either simply turning off the image stabilization or using an external microphone, such as a shotgun microphone or a lapel microphone. Overall, I was incredibly impressed with the speed of the focus motor and the quality of the image stabilization. This lens is truly perfect for all you landscape photographers and videographers out there. This is a must-have lens if you are after a wide-angle shot with image stabilization. And I say this is my most used lens, especially when it comes to any of my landscape work or when I'd film my YouTube videos. So for that reason, I'm going to be giving this lens a 10 out of 10 for the focus motor and image stabilization. So last but most importantly is the price. And coming in at £1,049, this places this lens bang smack in the middle of all ultra wide angle zoom lenses out there to purchase. Currently, Canon make 3 EF ultra-wide angle lenses. The cheapest is the 17 to 40mm f4 lens. This lens is one of the older alternative ultra-wide angle lenses that Canon make, going back to roughly the 90s. It has great image sharpness, but it does have fairly soft corners, and coming in at a price of roughly £609, this lens is great if you're more budget orientated, but this lens does lack image stabilization, especially if you compare it to the f4 lens with image stabilization, as it does have the same aperture. They also make a 2.8 lens, which is a lot more expensive and it doesn't have image stabilization, but it does have a great aperture of f2.8. This lens comes in at a whopping £2,159, almost double the price. So out of all of these 3 lenses, I would highly recommend this 16 to 35mm f4, as it's the only one that offers image stabilization, and it's roughly bang smack in the middle of both the cheapest 17 to 40 and the ludicrously expensive 16 to 35mm f2.8. So for that reason, I'm going to be giving this lens a 7 out of 10 for price. Brilliant, and there we go guys. So there is my lens review of the 16 to 35mm f4 image stabilized lens made by Canon, and with a respectable score of 42 out of 50, this is a highly recommended lens, especially if you're after a lens that's ultra wide angle, that's great for landscape and just normal types of photography. I must say, this is one of my favorite lenses for video because it offers the image stabilization over the 2.8. And again, because obviously it's a lot smaller, it's also a lot cheaper as well. But again, if you are after that softer, smoother background blur, the 2.8 version with a shallower depth of field might be the one for you. But again, do save up a little bit of money because it is almost double the price of this lens. So this lens, out of the 3 ones that I mentioned earlier, is the one that I would recommend over the 17 to 40 and again the 16 to 35mm, but the 2.8 equivalent. Again guys, if you want to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, it really does help my channel grow. Also, if you want to hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my latest content. But until next time guys, keep creating.